Let's go!
Hey guys, it's Red here, welcome back to another video. Today I have a little bit of a different video for you, and this is all about why I still collect physical media. So I'm talking DVDs, games and CDs mainly in this video, as the things that I mainly like to have is DVDs, CDs and games. So I want to be talking about why I still collect physical media, why I think you should too, and also the pros and cons of still collecting physical media. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like or please subscribe to our channel Retrohead. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. But just before we get started, this video is purely about my opinion, so let me know any opinions that you have of physical media in the comments down below. So the first thing I'd like to talk about in this video is games, because that is the main thing about this channel. So I've been buying and playing games for well over a decade now. And I've ever only downloaded games on a console twice. One on the Wii U and one on the Switch, I believe. And that is just a testament to how much physical games I buy, because I have played thousands of games, but I always buy them physical. And I have quite a few different reasons for that. So sometimes I buy a game on day of release. I haven't really done that since Super Mario Wonder. But the great thing about doing that is you can buy the game, play the game, and if you don't like it, you can resell it or trade it into CEX. But if you're just on your Switch one day and you see that Super Mario Bros. Wonder has just been released for the same price as a physical cartridge of the game, if you buy that and for some reason don't think that game is for you or you don't like it very much, you are stuck with it. It is on your console and it's inside the console. You can't get rid of it. You can't sell it anywhere to regain some of the money. And even sometimes what I like to do back in the day is give games to my friends and we'd swap games and test out each other's games. But you can't even do that when you've downloaded it onto the console. And sometimes downloading them onto the console can be more expensive than getting them physical. I know every now and again you can get a sale, but you've got to think if you don't like that game or go off it in a year's time, there's no way to resell it. It's a little bit like Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch. I bought this game the day it came out, and I was very excited for it and was pretty sure I was going to love it, and I did. But when I bought it, I knew that I could trade it in CEX afterwards if I didn't like it, regain some of the money. But you can't do that with games when you've downloaded them onto the console. I remember one of the first games I ever downloaded on a console. This was the first one. I think I downloaded... Can't remember what game I downloaded on the Switch when it first came out. I think it might have been one of the Mario games. But when I had my Wii U back in the day, I actually downloaded onto it Minecraft. And I have no idea why I did that, because I've always preferred collecting physical, but for some reason I downloaded it on, and it's still just stuck on the console. I've got no physical copy of the game. So you've got to remember, a lot of cartridges and discs nowadays save the game onto the console, but mainly save it onto the disc as well. So if you have a game inbuilt into your console, for some reason your console dies, you've also lost that game and all the progress you've done on it. Whereas if you have a cartridge or a disc that you play it on, mainly all of your data is stored on the disc. And even when you download games onto your console, you don't get to enjoy any of the artwork or putting the games on your shelf and building a collection. I know modern games don't have as good artwork as the old games, but they've still got some absolutely brilliant artwork. And you're really missing out if you're just downloading games onto your console. So now I want to talk about CDs. So CDs was a little bit different for me because I still buy a lot of CDs from charity shops. Now I know a lot of people don't buy CDs anymore, but again, this is only my opinion. So I still love to listen to music on CDs because there's no better feeling than opening the case and putting the disc in the player and just playing it as loud as you want. It's brilliant. But also, you don't get to enjoy any of the good artwork. Again, look at this Slayer Repentless album, for example, I bought a lot of years ago. The artwork on this is so cool, and you just don't get that if you just stream the music. And even inside, I'm not going to show you right inside because I probably shouldn't show you some of the artwork in this, but look at how cool the artwork is in this. And putting this on the shelf, with the rest of the Slayer albums, is so cool. And again, if you buy CDs and you have them physically in your hand, there's no way they can be taken away from you, because they can just take stuff down for some reason. You can pass it on to your friends if you want, let them borrow it, or swap them around like I sometimes do. There's so many advantages to having physical media, it's actually crazy. And this stack of CDs that you're seeing now, right here, I bought all these very recently out of a charity shop for only 10 pence each, which is absolutely crazy. I think there's maybe 10 CDs here, and they were only 10p. Some of them are digipacks, some of them have got 2 CDs in. It's an absolute bargain to listen to some great music at very cheap prices. And another reason why I like looking for CDs in charity shops is often I pick up a CD nice and cheap for a quid or something, and I've never heard of the band, and then I get to really enjoy that band's music when I never would have picked them if I was just scrolling down a list of stuff to listen to. And the final one is DVDs. As you can see here, I've got one of my favourite DVDs in my collection, the complete Keeping Up Appearances collection.
Now, listen, horse, I'm not a person to be trifled with.
This is the sort of thing that on streaming sites you're paying quite a little bit for. And again, I just found this in a charity shop years ago, which is great, as I can watch this whenever I want. It's in my hand. No one can ever like take it away like they can on streaming sites. Again, if I wanted to, I could like sell it on eBay if I somehow didn't like the show or something like that. Or I could even pass it on to a friend or even donate it to a charity shop. Because you can't do that with streaming stuff either. And as you can see now, some of my other favourite DVDs, and there's DVDs like this Street Hawk box set here, which I absolutely love this show. But you can't really find this sort of stuff on streaming sites. A lot of like the old media that like not many people can remember just isn't really on streaming sites. I'm not sure if this one is or not, but I have looked at streaming sites before because I know other people that have them. And there's just not a lot of choice on there for the old stuff, which is my favourite. And even if you're talking about just quite recent films that you want to watch, like sometimes you can pay like £10 to stream a film. Whereas you can go in CEX and look at their £1 DVD section, and there is absolutely thousands and thousands of DVDs to pick from, all from just £1 each, which is absolutely brilliant. And then, as I said, you can sell that DVD on. I know you'll probably only get like 10 pence for it, but it's better than nothing. Or you can give it to a charity shop for them to make some money out of it, or just pass it on to a friend, anything like that. But when you've streamed it, it's just inside your streaming box, and there's nothing you can do about it after you've watched it. And also, it can be taken away from you at any point. I know especially with games like PlayStation Plus, Xbox Games Pass, they can take these games away from you at any point, which I think, like, shouldn't be allowed. Like, if you had a shelf of games, and for some reason someone just took one of your games, you'd have something to say about it. But for some reason it just seems alright for Xbox to just take away a game that you're playing, even when you're midway through playing it. I know it's all down to like copyright reasons and they have to do it, but it still seems a bit of a shame. So obviously I've got to talk about the cons as well in this video of physical media. So one of the first ones that I can think of mainly is the space that it takes up. Obviously if you have like thousands of games or DVDs or whatever, they are going to take up a lot of room. So that is something you've got to consider if you're thinking about switching to physical media again. And the other main thing that I can think of is mainly discs, is either them getting scratched or disc rot. But as long as you store them in a safe, controlled environment with like a good temperature, and also you're careful with the discs and don't scratch them up or anything, you should be alright really. And also discs are pretty hardy, you know, even if you have got a disc that is a little bit scratched, it should still work fine. So yes, in the conclusion of this video, I think you can tell that I love collecting physical media, and will probably collect physical media for the foreseeable future. But let me know, do you still collect physical media, games, DVDs or CDs, or even Blu-rays? And I can definitely tell that physical media is definitely making a resurgence. Like if you go into HMV now, there is so many records and vinyl selection, it's like crazy, they have thousands. But a few years ago, you wouldn't have really seen that very often, they're expensive. Very collectible, but also again, physical media is definitely making a resurgence. I know when I go in HMV, check out the CDs, I also end up checking the vinyl, which can be very, very dangerous because I do not want to start collecting something new, but some of those vinyls are so nice. I think I've still got a little bit of footage of me taking some footage of it. There are some great Fear Factory, Obituary, Napalm Death vinyls here, and I was worryingly tempted to pick a few of these up, but luckily I did fight the temptation because these are pretty expensive. But some of the artwork on the records is so cool. I do have some old records, but I don't really have very many re-release ones. But hopefully I won't start collecting them, but I wouldn't be surprised if I do. But again, let me know, what do you think about records? But anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!